of it is my product, it is my thing. So you keep running the street with your thing that is not working. So for me, as a filmmaker, I have a script which is my first product. The next thing I ask myself is, what don't I have? Now, I now know I don't have a director. And funny enough, we're in the same creative space. So I don't have a director, I don't have a DP, I don't have, name it. Now, my next job is to find the people that have what I don't have. There's another problem there. The problem is value. She talked about that. You cannot get collaborators in a valueless product. That is another thing. That is what you should do at your ideation stage. So you have a business. We just go into the sky and say, I have this business, it will bring money. It's a lie, it does not work like that. You have to look at the nitty-gritties, the details of this idea. What problem is it solving? Who needs it? So when you ask these questions and get the answers, you can now look for the people that can help you get this thing done. But also notice that while you search for collaborators, you must learn to lose. You must learn to lose. You can't have money and have pride at the same time. It does not work. You cannot be broke and still be entitled. It does not work. Who's fooling who? Don't be deceived. The biggest businesses we have in the world, from the social media businesses to the fashion brands, they are owned by a visionary who has 10% of a working brand that other people have 5-9% of that same business. That's collaboration. For us who are Christians, and the Bible says, and God said, come, let's make man. That was the first call of collaboration. That means maybe God had the idea of just the head. Another guy had the idea of the eye. Another person had the idea of the legs. So if we really as young entrepreneurs want to grow our business, we must learn to say, come, let's make. If you're not calling, then you're not ready to create. That is where we need to start from. If you're not ready to humble yourself, even when you have the money, because you may have the money but don't have all of the ideas you need to make it work. Like I said, my kind of business has made me seek for collaboration for over 15 years. So every project I'm looking for, Mr. Hazy, come and help me and shoot. You will take 10%. Mr. This, come and help me and write. You will take 5%. Mr. This, come and help me and do makeup. You will take 1%. You need to be able to let go of a part of your business for it to come alive. If you're not ready to do that, then you're not ready to grow the business at all. Then the legal implications, some of us don't know how to read documents. Problem. Wahala. Because it is for integrity basis. For integrity basis, word of mouth is true. I trust you. You're filled with the Holy Spirit. But what happens when the first 1 million naira comes to your account? Am I sure I'm going to get my 10% as agreed? So how am I going to be sure that if I get this money, I'm going to share? Simple. Let's put pen on paper. But again, it is dependent on the first step, which is you need to be willing to let go of something. Find people who have what you don't have. When you find them, be willing to let go of some part because they are bringing in the value that you don't have. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Mr. Ebim.
Sorry, 1 second. Peradventure, you have questions. There'll be room for Q&A after now. If you are too shy to speak, which I do not think should be the case, you could also write. But just make it very clear. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Ebim, you said so much, I don't even know what to say again. All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Lighten up your mood. All right. So, a few weeks ago, I was at an event speaking to people. I like share my story as part of my talks. So, I'm just going to share a bit of my story and the future of collaboration in the creative industry. So, when I started, because I switched from being an event planner and from the event space into the media space, so it was kind of difficult. So after learning how to shoot, how to handle the equipment, it became difficult to get jobs, which is something that everyone knows here. If you are in the creative industry, getting clients at first is very difficult. So what I did was before then, when I approached clients that I know how to shoot, in fact, I can handle the camera very well, just give me your project, or I want to shoot for you, they will be like, okay, what have you done? So that's where the problem starts from. What have you done? Can we see what you've done? I don't have any. So that became a problem for me for a very long time, till I went to a conference in Lagos. Then for the first time, I heard the word, the collaboration. I used to hear collaboration. No, let's collaborate, let's do this. But for the first time, I knew what collaboration means in the creative industry. So when I got back to Port Harcourt, now, there's the mistake where most creative people make. You are still learning, right? You are going to look for someone who is a professional in another field to collaborate with you. It won't work. It won't work. Don't even sugarcoat it. It's not pride. It's nothing. In fact, I do it currently now. I don't collaborate with anybody at all. If you do not meet my standard, I don't collaborate with you. So while I was starting, what I did was I had to look for people who are in the same level as me. All right? People who need content as me. People who want to explore like me. All right? So it was easy then. So I did lots of collaboration. I did free shoots for hotels, free shoots for eateries, weddings. I did lots of free shoots. Okay, lots of free shoots. And in fact, for every business that is close to me, I did free shoot for them. Few months down the line, I started getting paid gigs. Because when I visit a business and I tell them, I want to shoot for you. But when they ask, can we see what you've done? I will just bring out one of the free jobs I've done, and I'll be like, look at it here. And I'll tell them, this client paid me this amount of money, but for you, I'm going to take this amount. Well, it's a lie, it's free. So that was how I scaled up to the point I am today. I did lots, even till tomorrow, I do collaboration shoots. But now on a bigger scale. All right? So for people that are starting up, I'll advise, go for the same class of creative people as you. Don't try to get someone bigger, because the chances that you might be discouraged, and you might feel bad that this person doesn't want to collaborate with you because probably you like the quality or you like what they're doing. So please, this is just what I want to say. Try to meet people in your class and collaborate with them. It will help grow, because that other person wants to grow. You also want to grow. Both of you will grow together. All right? So that brings me to the cross-disciplinary collaboration. Now, this is the point where you collaborate with people that are not in your field. All right? Are you following? You collaborate with people that are not in your field. As a cinematographer, I try as much as possible to collaborate with people in the fashion industry. I try as much as possible to collaborate with people who are into food business. Because the truth is that these people need me. And I also need them. All right? What I'm putting on now was given to me by someone I shot a video for. So the business is, Isaac, come shoot for me. I give you this outfit, I give you that outfit. I'll be like, okay, that's nice. And I check the value of what you are giving me. If it goes with what my usual pay is, I shoot for you, you give me your outfit. And that's what happens mostly with the creative people you're seeing. So you see these celebrities, most of the cars they get from these auto dealers are free. So what they do, they just sign a deal that, hey, we're going to give you this Range Rover 2019. It costs 40 million naira. In exchange, for the next 1 year, you have to be talking about us. Now that's collaboration. So I think I'll end up here because time is against us. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Isaac. I'd like to call both of you Isaac. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Good to have you here, sir. We have our keynote speaker, but then I'm sure many of us have questions for them, right? I can see hands up already. So we'll just take a few minutes before he steps on board to speak to us. So please, go ahead. Microphones, please. If you also have any question written down, just signify, let's know so we can read out quickly. Thank you for the presentation, sir.
Okay, thanks for the speak and advice. You guys did very well. So the question is for the both of you. Beyond skills, what are other aspects you look for when you're trying to collaborate with people? And again, you talked about your early days and how you do for people in order to grow. Do you rely on referrals and the people around entirely for client acquisition? And I think those are the questions.
Please, respond.
So the second question, please come again. Second one.
Yeah, you say while you were growing up, you were actually doing free gigs and all of those. So it's like, So do you still follow the same channel, or what are other channels that you've added, embedded in order to keep running for customer acquisition? And the first one is, what are the things you look for beyond skills for your collaboration?
All right, so I'll answer the second one and leave the first one to Mr. Ibimie. All right, so the second one, right now, I still do collaboration, right? But because of the level I am and the kind of clientele I have, I try to get people of the same value as I am. So you have to be, I won't say the top, but you have to match the same value with me, then we can work. I still do collaborations with tomorrow. I just rounded up one few weeks ago, and I still do it. But because I've seen people with lots of experience. So if I want to go into collaboration, I have to know that you have to match my quality, and probably the quality you have is what I want, so we can work.
Okay. The first question is beyond skills. What are the other? I think that I look for exposure, because it's one thing, somebody trying to find my co-collaborators, right? Some persons will have the skill, but doesn't have the exposure, doesn't have the funding that I need. He doesn't have the mental attitude that I need. So, per time, that's why I said at the beginning that have your product and look for what you don't have that you need to add up to get your product out there. So if you have skill, the next thing is funding, exposure, because you need to market what you've made. So for me, I look for skill first, very important. I look for exposure secondly. I look for funding because at the end of the day, we need money to get the job done. Then I look for mental attitude. Again, this part of mental attitude for me comes first. Because as far as the mind can see, if you're skilled, you have the money, you have the exposure, and you're not in line with my thoughts, with my end point, we don't have any business working together. So I can't be saying I want to sell a product to all the countries in Africa. You're telling me, let's try Nigeria first. It means that we don't have the same mentality. So we don't have any business together. Even when you have the money, I'll walk away. We've heard many stories of people walking away for millions of dollars. It's simply because if this person puts his money in my business, in 3 years' time, I will be non-existent. So I will always go with mental attitude, skill, funding, then exposure. Then for the second question, which has to do with, you talked about, sorry, help me out there.
The other channels for collaboration.
The other channels for collaboration. First of all, you can never get bigger than collaboration, right? So to each step of the ladder you climb, there is a kind of collaboration you have to make. So for us who do film, I am the $500 million filmmaker in Africa, but I need to make a film in China, and I don't have the market strength to penetrate China. Simply cast Jackie Chan and the whole of China and watch my film. But how do I get Jackie Chan to tell me yes? I need to know somebody who is going to tell me, okay, for me to get this gig for you, I'm going to get 10% of your marketing profits. So I say yes, and he helps me penetrate the Asian market, and I make the profit. So to each level of the ladder you climb, there is a kind of collaboration that suits you. But first of all, you must, like I said, you must be willing to lose something. If you have the entitlement mentality, sorry, business and growth is not for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for them, please. All right. So I hear you talk a lot about a phenomenon that we all know as trade by barter, right? In today's world, before it used to be cowries for something else. So in today's world, okay, I need something. I don't know what you have. So how do I assess you? How do I know that, okay, you can give me something? Or for instance, yes, this is a conference. People are allowed to introduce themselves. But if you meet each other one-on-one, how do I assess you? How do I know that you can give me what I need at this point? And when I do, how do I penetrate? Thank you.
Okay, so communication is key, right? I can't perceive what you do. I'm not a dog, right? So you need to tell me that I do this. Now, you do it is not where it ends. I need to see, for us to exchange value, I need to know how much value you have. That's why, because barter is simply exchange of value. So if I want to, I'm going to go sales again. I want a person that can help me sell 1,000 phones. And you're a salesman with 50 phones in 1 year. I don't need you. So we can't exchange value. So no matter how much communication we have, there's no...
So profiling is important.
Profiling is very important.
Basically.
Yes.
Thank you. 30 seconds, please.
So what I'm going to say is that if you are not solving my problem, they would have a business. Like, as we are here, I already know 2 people that have a problem, and I've already seen 2 people doing the introduction that at the end of this session, I'm going to take their numbers to solve my problem. We've already connected, so that is it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, please. A round of applause for them as they make their way out. Thank you so much. I mean, I learned a lot during this section too. I would probably meet them for collaboration after now. Right. All right, so we'll go next to our keynote speaker. And to do a very, very proper introduction, I will invite no other person but the convener of this very, very amazing program, in the person of Pastor Uche Onoche. Standing ovation, please.
Thank you guys. Please be seated. To the panelists, thank you. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for making out time. You know, collaboration is the future. And this particular topic is what was uppermost in my mind this year. For those of you that know Make in Nigeria, if you're seeing some of our materials, we bring speakers from all over the world, and mostly from Lagos. But this year I said no. We're going to do Make in Rivers State. And you see that all the people that are speaking are young men from Port Harcourt, or that grew up here, because we need to begin to grow things here. Because the problem that we have as business people is all of us here in this city have the same problem. So let us talk about it. The future is about collaborations, and that's why I'm collaborating with this. I call them the Port Harcourt Mafia, but they're also the Port Harcourt finest. They are the thought leaders that are coming. They're not too far from me in terms of age, but I know that the baton, if we're passing it, we're going to be passing it to them. So I think we need to begin to collaborate here. 4 things I said you will get in this place: learning, selling, networking. Networking is collaboration. Then entertainment, which is going to come during the course of this event. Collaboration, it's networking, it changes people's lives. I would like for us this evening, what's the problem? This evening session, okay. All right. This evening session is very, very important. We actually did it for workers, because workers complain we can't be here in the morning, so we have to be here this evening. But what I would like for us to do is that on your handles, you just post whatever you've seen here, whatever video or picture, and let people that you feel that might get that people that you feel that this conference is for, let us get them into here, because every day it is increasing and increasing, and people are coming, and there's a lot that are coming, a lot to be learned. We started this Marketplace Apostles is the founding organization that is bringing all this. But it didn't start at Marketplace Apostle. It started as Domino Reno Foundation. All right, thank you. Domino Reno Foundation. But when you have collaborators or co-collaborators, and you people are not on the same page, we had Domino Reno Foundation. It's a leadership. I'm a leadership coach, business coach, and also a life coach. So we started out in leadership. But the people I was around with, or the people I invited into the boat, had a different understanding. So it got to a point I had to pack it up. I said no, that I won't do it. Again, 2 years we didn't do this until a young man came. It was my church then. He came, we happened to be in the same church. He just came from Lagos. His name is Fela Durotoye, and he just talked for 30 minutes. And that was where it was like he was talking, and he was talking to me. I got up from that place that night, couldn't eat. I was just just on my bed, just thinking. And that was where we rebranded Domino Reno Foundation to become Marketplace Apostle. And that is what we're doing here. A Marketplace Apostle is what is giving birth to Make in Nigeria. So do not take for granted the things that you hear this place. It might just be one careless statement that somebody will just say and that will change your life. So please, whoever you need to get into this place, if there's anybody that is disturbing you about money, this is the place you bring. Is there anybody that is saying, I don't have connection, I need capital? This is the kind of place you bring to them. Open your mind in these 6 days. Open your mind. And when you open your mind, you'll be able to get something. And that can just be what will change your life, just like it did mine. And, going through a dry patch, you just hear one word. Sometimes God just sends somebody to just say one word. And the thing is, there's something, we pray about this event for a long time, like 8 months we were praying. And one of those days we were praying, and I just got this, it was like imprinted into me that I will be sharing ideas. God said, I will be sharing ideas in this program. So it's not about the speaker, how eloquent he is and all that, but just open up your mind to receive that just one word, just one idea. Ideas rule the world. Just one thought can change your life. That is usually how it happens. And so, please, so are you going to send something on your Facebook or handle to invite someone? Then put your hands together. Before the keynote speaker comes up, let K.O. Baba just, he has an information he needs to pass. Then K.O. Baba, you bring up the keynote speaker.
Please celebrate the convener. Thank you, Pastor Uche, for making this happen. The value, so how many of you appreciate this? So much value. Just like my friend would say, that the whole Gen Z thing, the Z doesn't stand for zealous. We are not zealous. So you ask yourself, the Gen Z, what does it stand for? And I pray that Z should not be for zombie. Because our generation definitely needs to embrace knowledge. We've moved. It's a knowledge-driven economy that we're running now. So you become knowledgeable, you become more capable. Please, very important, before you leave, this is important, we want you to go downstairs and then get to the exhibition booth and look around and see how you can patronize the exhibitors that we have down there. This is not just a conference, it's a conference and also is an exhibition happening. You will see products, you will see companies, you will talk to them, engage them, and see how you can make sure that they also get the value that we are giving out. Yes. We would like to do this as well. We would like you to help us join our quick publicity team. Please, everybody, you just give us your WhatsApp number. What we do time as we sit down in this conference, we'll drop graphics of the keywords that the speakers have. We'll do that from this evening. By this evening, you already will get the WhatsApp numbers before we leave. We'll drop key information that the speakers will be dropping while they handle their sections. And you help us spread them across social media. And in your post, tell people that this conference will continue tomorrow. We need to encourage people to embrace knowledge. How many of you are willing to do that for us? Thank you. So the ushers will pass the notes around quietly. All you need to do is just write your name and your WhatsApp number. And the purpose will only be for the course of this conference. We'll drop information, drop timing. Even before others, you will know who is handling the panel for the next day, who is speaking the next day. If you have this, you should already know the speakers, but you will know the panel and get all that content that I think will be personalized for us, please. So don't miss any section. Tomorrow again, we continue by 9 a.m. and we'll take the stretch and we take it and we take it. For tomorrow evening, we'll always have a poet, a comedian, and a musician light up the place when we come to the evening section before the keynote speakers from tomorrow evening every day. That will happen until we have our dinner. We have raffle draw tickets. Tickets are for raffle tickets. And those raffle tickets, for 1,000 naira, somebody will win a plot of land and some appliances for 1,000 naira. So the ushers, you will help us please, so that people who want to buy the raffle draw ticket will buy. And also in my office, there's something I want to be done here. This conference is free, and my lovely pastor, one of the most humble, there's the way you become humble, you move to meekness. So let's say meek. Meekness is the highest level of humility. Yes, and it's very meek, Pastor Meek, that's calm and open-minded. Has been doing this for free, but Pastor will not have or will not want to give this announcement, but I think I can. Now, there's something we always want you to do for us. Nobody's asking you for offering, but I think we'll do this. The media will help us display the Make in Nigeria account number. So when you sit down and then you feel like if you're willing to support when they pop up the account, you can just 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100, even 1 million will not reject it. We want you to do something for us. Look at the 8 figures that has gone into this conference. When I mean 8 figures, is 10 million and above. You know what it means to secure these 3 halls right here for 6 days. So you know what it means. And then all the branding, the screens, the sound, you should have a picture of what we're talking about. So please, the media, you get the account. Chidima, make sure the media has the account. And we want to be pushing out the account. When it pops out, I will do this all through the conference. I think I will do this all through the conference. We'll drop it today, drop it tomorrow. Any day you sit and you have, I want to use the word you have, or you are willing to stretch, or you are willing to make that commitment because you support and love what Pastor Anuche is doing, we will really appreciate it from you. Man. So how many of you are ready for the next? How many of you are ready? Yes, thank you, the panelists, for talking to us about collaborations. Is important. Networking makes things work. A lot of you say you are hardworking, but you are very poor with networking. That's why it has not been working. So to your hard networking, learn how to put people within your circle and see how you can achieve things together. Very, very important, very key. Let me tell you, collaboration is the new competition. Because you come together, you become stronger, you can do the things you couldn't do. Myself and Ficus TV is very good with production and everything. And I'm very good with thinking, creativity, content. We come together, and I'm promising you we're taking it very far, and we're trying to capture more places and go places. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will move straight to our keynote speaker. Of course, 20 years ago, this wonderful gentleman, this very, very enterprising, very consistent, the CEO of Symforest, started an organization with his friends. They were back then in RSU. I remember at some point, this firm, or let me use the word establishment, made its administration easy for Fakai. I remember how they came into RSU. They made students who were not serious with the academy know that you are either here or there. And this organization has gone beyond that walls and have done so much. And today, talking from the place of experience, as someone who has made impact as an entrepreneur, who has made impact from the business angle, using the power of collaborations, please, I want you, with a standing ovation, let's receive the CEO of Symforest Limited, Mr. Ibufuro Asawo. Please keep clapping. God bless you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. You may be seated. May I use this opportunity to appreciate the convener, Pastor Uche, and the Make in Nigeria team. It's a great project that you're carrying on. It's a national project where we come. You're bringing us together to encourage ourselves and then, of course, also to encourage the next generation. My name is Asawa Ibifuro. I run a business called Sim4S, and the business of Sim4S is to solve problems. That's our business. And what it means is that we look for other people's wahala and then make their wahala our wahala. And that's the way we make money. And that's the way, we keep ourselves going. So, this evening I will be discussing about collaborative innovation. Collaborative innovation. And I think collaboration in business is the key. It's the fulcrum for any success in business. Collaboration is the fulcrum. More than one person coming together to ensure that they achieve what an individual cannot achieve. That's the whole essence of collaboration. Even when God wanted to create the Father, he said, let us. It was collaborative effort. Let us make man in our own image. When he was creating every other thing, he said, let there be, let there be. But when it came to man, something unique, he said, let us. And so collaboration is about us. It's about we coming together to achieve what one of us cannot achieve. And I think it is the hallmark of any enterprise, hallmark of any business. And I heard the gentlemen sharing their experiences, how, you must give something to get something. And I think it's the principle of business and it's the principle of life. Everyone must give, to receive. You must give to receive. You must give to receive. And so when we talk about innovation, innovation is simple. It is basically coming up with something new that will be able to solve a problem. Okay, you come up with new processes. It could be a new product. It could be a new service, to solve a problem. And then, of course, it's not that always innovation. Innovation and invention are different. Innovation is also looking at doing old things in new ways. So it's something old, everybody knows, but you're doing it in a new way. And then, of course, it is meeting the need at that particular point in time. And so, when we look at collaboration, I know a good number of us, we are young. And young people, when they want to talk about business, the first challenge, they will say, the economy is harsh, the economy is harsh. And then as a result of that, no capital. Most times, when we come like this, it's money we are looking for. And I tell young people, money is not everything. In fact, in business, the financial capital is not as important as the social capital. The social capital is more important, and that is the collaboration. Having the heart to collaborate. How did we start? I'll just share our story and then encourage us in the whole of my discussion. How did we start? Some young guys came together, 2000. We met in Arts and Science, Captain Eleshi Amadi Polytechnic now. That's where we met. So many years ago, I left secondary school in 1994. And then, of course, I didn't get all my O levels. I wanted to study engineering, and I didn't have a credit in physics. So there was no way. And then I was forced to go to, the remedial school there called MEP, Matriculation Examination Program. That's what UST called their remedial program. And so I got in there, and then I met some young guys like me. All of us didn't pass, okay? So that's why we found ourselves there. And then, we became friends. And then got admission the next year into the University of Science and Technology then. And then we became friends. We were all members of the same Christian fellowship. And then we grew up like that from level 100, friends, until we got down to final year. And in our fourth year, our bond had become stronger. We're all leaders in the fellowship, Our parents had known us, We are now like brothers, all studying engineering. And then, in 2001, an idea came. We started doing some stuff after our 6 months IT. I started cloning computers, doing stuff here and there, setting up business centers and cyber cafes around town with, the industrial experience I'd gathered. And then we started doing stuff. One of us, the father, had the opportunity, of being the provost of one of the tertiary institutions. And then, he would just give us some jobs, okay? Go and then supply computers. We'll go clone the computer, supply them. And then that continued until we got into our final year. And then we now told ourselves, let's set up a business. So we set up a business. While in the university, we set up Sim4S Ventures in 2001. 2002, we defended our project, okay? While we were defending our project, there was this long ASUU strike. And then we sat down in that school, Arts and Science, because one of us or two of us were living there. And then, because they were living there, we sat down that day discussing. And then, while we were discussing, the idea of our first software came up, BrainFriend. And how did we get BrainFriend off the ground? It was collaboration. So, as the idea came, I ran to the hostel, started some stuff on my computer. I was working on my project then. So I had some basic idea about database, about, software development. We were using Visual Basic 6 then. And so I ran and then I started doing some stuff. But I remembered I had this friend while in our remedial days who taught me how to use I had a special scientific calculator that, could do basic, But I didn't understand basic language. But this guy understood basic language then. And so I went to him and then I said, look, we have this idea. Can you come join us? And then he came, joined us, and then we started that development process. That's how BrainFriend came about. And so during that ASUU strike, we went to our friends, in the fellowship. You're studying law. Then you can actually answer questions for us in English, CROK, and literature. And then, so go ahead, take past question papers, begin to answer them. You, all the engineering guys, we started doing some stuff. And then that was how the whole idea of BrainFriend and Sim4S, fully all about collaboration. And then people did, and then we thought within 2 weeks, we'll get the software out. And then, excitement. We're just thinking how we would change JAMB, how we would change WAEC, how we would change everybody in this country. And then COB exam practice and all that. The euphoria was very high. And we thought within 2 weeks we'll get it done. And then 2 weeks came, and then 1 month, and then 2 months, and then ASUU strike was called off, and then we all had to run back to our school project again, and immediately we finished the project. We now saw that we had a bigger project than the school project. And that's how we stuck together and began developing the software BrainFriend. These are friends cutting across. Some of them now are PhD holders, some of them are lecturing in UST now. Some of them are abroad. These are friends from the fulcrum. We didn't have money, but we had social capital. We didn't have the financial capital to gather all these people. The first 3 years we went to NYSC, came back. The first 3 years of Sim4S, post NYSC, we all came back, 2004, came back from NYSC. We started, on the 8th of September 2004. When we came back, first 3 years, there was no money, but all the people that worked for us, it was social capital. We couldn't pay salaries, but all the people that worked for us, it was based on social capital. That's why I just want you to know that collaboration is key, in this grammar that we are speaking. And you can't go far, if you are not willing to do what? To collaborate. You can't go far if you are not willing to collaborate. So Sim4S is a typical example of a business, where collaboration has become what? A major factor for the, modest success we've been able to achieve. And so the first 3 years, I met a friend during NYSC, who is, a chief accounts officer now, in the business. We met during NYSC. In fact, he escorted me, all right, during NYSC. He escorted me, there. Port Harcourt boy, we met in Gombe. So, of course, Port Harcourt people meeting in Gombe. Automatically, we became brothers. Incidentally, we were namesakes. We are both IBs. So it was very, very easy. And then we came back. Okay? And then just told my friends, bulk of the people, if you come to my organization, 70% of us know ourselves one way or the other. We've actually relied so much on referrals. So when we want to do employment, it's more referrals. Who do you know? Okay? In the organization. And that's the strength of what? Of collaboration. So social capital is a key thing that as you go back, look out for friends. Look out for friends. Every solution we have developed had emerged from one level of collaboration or the other. Every solution that we have developed. And I'd always talk with my childhood friends, every one of them. So I'm doing stuff now, a medical solution. My childhood friends, people that were reading with me, that are now medical doctors, we all attended the same primary or secondary school, or we're in the same neighborhood, that are doctors, are the ones that what I go to. Okay, the court management solution we are running for the state and other states now across the country, it's my friend, the same fellowship with me, Befi, he became a lawyer, went to Lagos, from Lagos he went to Abuja, and then of course when business started taking me to Abuja, 10 years before we developed the software, we started talking about that same solution. 10 years before, and we're just gisting. And when the opportunity came, it didn't take us 1 year to develop that solution. That's the power of collaboration. As of last week, we had a session, with the MBA president, and I was telling him the story. I said, this one is like my brother from secondary school. We became friends. And then we met in university, and then in university today now we are partners, doing this together. So collaboration is key. And I know that, Gen Z, you don't know how to talk to people, you don't know how to deal with people, but that's just the hallmark of success. Because you can't do it alone. You need to look out for people that will do it. My neighbor that grew up with me, we all played together in the compound, Old Port Harcourt Township, when we wanted to develop the medical solution. She was the one around too. And then a friend of mine, we met in extramural classes. He was in Stella Maris, I was in comprehensive. And then that's the one, he too, a doctor. That's the one, I had to call. I had to call all these people in, and then they were the ones that stood. They didn't even take any money from me. Nothing. And so, if you know how to leverage collaboration because of relationship, what happens is that you will go very far. With little or nothing. With little or nothing. Most of the places we've gone to is because the people that know us, paved the way. Paved the way. And I tell people social capital is, if there is any resource that is important, I tell people the human resource is the most important resource that God has given to us. Because what somebody can make you see, all right, or places that they can make you go to, you won't just believe. I share on that story just to end this bit, about collaboration, then I'll just talk about collaborative innovation. When I met with the president of this country, Jonathan, okay, the person that took me was unassuming. I mean, a reseller of our products. In fact, the reseller of our product, not a reseller of our product, a reseller of our product that was not doing very well was the one that introduced me to this other lady. And the reseller of our product, when we met her, she said, she will resell our product all through the north. We'll do this. And then we're excited, And 1 year passed, 2 years passed, 3 years. She couldn't meet the target, in the north. She couldn't meet the target. And so we just left her there. She was just buying bits and pieces. We just left her. Then one day she just woke up, called, said, I want you to give me a proposal that we'll send to the president. And I was like, okay. Proposal was the list of things, because we write proposals. And I'd written to Obasanjo, I'd written to Yaradua, I'd written to, yes, those are the two, okay, before Jonathan came, right? Okay, so I'd written to Obasanjo, I'd written to, Yaradua, and I think we got responses from both of them, one great idea, blah, 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 the other one too, great idea, and it didn't, but no, I'm in trial. This one says she can. And then, so we gave her the proposal. And then she took the proposal. Took it and then gave it to one lady. So one day I was in Abuja. She said, I want you to meet the lady. So we went to meet the lady. When I saw her, I was expecting one big woman. I saw somebody that I'm even bigger than in size. I was just like, how? How can this one, take us there? How? Friends, cutting the long story short, not too long, she called us that let's go, that they booked an appointment for us to see the president. We got down there, and then, we passed the first gate, passed the second gate. I got down there, I saw my name in the register in the villa. Like this girl, how did she do this? A young lady. How? And then we got in, they gave us the tag with my passport, took our passports and everything, and then we went in. And it was like a dream. We passed the first gates. If you've been to the villa, when you get down to one point, everybody knows that you're going to see the president. That's the way our villa is. Once you get down to one point, okay? So the common area where you can go to the office of chief of staff or the vice president office, once you pass that point, everybody knows. And then the greeting changed. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning. I was like, wow. And then we got in there. Then I said, you can't take your phones in. You can't take anything in. I said, we'll need this thing for presentation that we want to do. They said, don't worry. They will call for it and they will bring it for you. And then we got in there. I followed her. That bulletproof door you normally see on NTA News or whatever, when they are showing the villa, I got down to that door. She entered the door. I was right behind her. And then as I was about going in, an SSS man tapped me behind. I said, come. I said, hold on. And then he took me to a waiting room. And then I was waiting there. It was 10 minutes, it was 20 minutes, it was 30 minutes. I was like, what's going on? Where I was seated, I was just like, I just would have jumped in. I just would have ignored him. So if you ignore, the guy would have shot you, So many things were just going through my mind. I was like, And then all of a sudden, she came down and then she told me, I'm sorry, the president has a press briefing in the next 1 hour. So as a result of that, he won't be able to see us. He has rescheduled us, for another 2 weeks. I just say, wow, how can I get so close to the promised land and then not enter? I felt so bad. And for people that know me, I'm not the type that wear suits, frequent. That day I suit up, you're going to see the president and all of that. And then I came back disappointed like that and then came back to Port Harcourt. And not quite long. That's 2 weeks. We were just having our normal management meeting on Monday. And then I saw a strange number, 6-digit number, short. And I was like, which people be this? So I excused everybody and then I picked the call. I said, short number. I don't know if you understand this number, And then I picked the call. And lo and behold, it was somebody from the villa. Said you've been booked on an appointment to see Mr. President. The letter will be sent to you and blah, 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 blah. I like that? For real? And she wasn't even aware. I was the one that broke the news. So I said, they've called though, that this meeting. She said, I told you now that they will call. I'm like, how powerful this small woman. What? And then I just went. This time around, I refused to wear a suit. I just wore my jeans, put on my company t-shirt, and then I said the last time I wore a suit. So my wife was even in Abuja for a training, to give some people training, at the Federal Ministry of Education. And she was like, dress properly, now you're going to I said the last time I wore a suit. They didn't allow me to see the man. Let me just go my normal self. Just wear my jeans and t-shirt. And guess what? This time around, we went in. We passed that stage. We didn't go to the office. They took us to the conference room where we'll do the presentation. They brought our system. We put everything up. And then, the president came out. And said, young man, how many minutes is it going to take? I said, Your Excellency, maybe 15 minutes. He said, okay, let's start. 15 minutes took us 45 minutes. He was taking notes. He was writing. And he just asked a question and said, this thing you're talking about, why is it that JAMB is not using it? That's how JAMB went electronic in this country. That question he asked, why is it that JAMB is not using it? He just changed the dynamics. And that's how electronic exams started. And then we We took that beat, from nothing, the desire, and I tell you the number of letters we've written. Professor Salim, those of you that are old enough, used to be the JAM registrar when I wrote JAM. He was there, we wrote. Professor Fabian Osunji was then Minister for Education. They all told me, even though Jerinde, the popular JAM man that most of you must have known, was NECO registrar then. We traveled to all of these places, trying to reach out to these people, selling our ideas to them. It didn't work. But this little girl took us, questions were asked. The president himself took, my proposal with rubber band, with my profile, put everything together himself, and then minuted to two ministers, the Minister for Education and then the Minister for Communication Technology. Omobola, and then Ricky as at then, these two people. And the rest is history. They didn't look at my proposal, they didn't call us, and then they went and did a presentation to him. And then he asked, did you listen to that young man? And they said, no. He said, you have to go back, and I want you to listen to the young man. They called everybody in science and tech, everybody in education, for us to meet with the chief of staff. Then, the Edo guy, he was the chairman of that committee. And then, I took them again for almost 2.5 hours, telling them what our solution can do, how it will help education, grammar. Of course, we are never tired of telling our story, And that shaping everything. Places that I've been going to for 7 years. NCC, they have a project they use softwares to do. 7 years. Nothing. They've not opened that door. All right? That door, that day, opened, and things just changed. Now, it didn't just happen overnight. But, Omobola just signed up that your software will be in 1,000 schools where we've deployed all these computers, across the country. That was it. That day, she said, it took us another 2 years before that manifested, but, it opened the door. And so collaboration, in innovation is not just, so we had the ideas, but we needed people that also have the collections, that have the links, here and there, to open the doors. And so, as you leave this place or go through this conference, just know that you need somebody that could, take you to the next level of what you want to do. And so, the grammar I've written here is what I've tried to summarize with our story. And so, if you go through life, whatever idea you have, you see, there are people that God has also put somewhere there that can actually take you to that desired place. And so you need to look out for those people. You can't go through that journey yourself. I'm here. I'm doing things across the country now. Somebody, a friend, a church brother, helped. Some of the things that I'm doing currently now helped. And then he said, hey, I have a brother that is somewhere. He can help you. I think this is your idea. He can help it. I mean, some of the solutions we sell currently now. And then we just got down to that place. And that one called about 20-something of the people that will do something. Each state, we were just calling them, hey, so I have a brother that, does this. Help him. I have a brother that. So, you see, social capital, you cannot, there is no TV advert. We have the money there to do TV adverts. AIT run our advert, BrainFriend advert for 6 months. How? We didn't have the money. Prime time, 8 o'clock television, like that. How? It was, we did a letter, late Dokpesi, we did a letter to him, and then we said, look, we are going to share profits. Anything we sell out of this, we are going to share with you. That's it. We were willing to pay that price. And then he just looked at us, young guys, introduced us to his son, and then, that was it. We took that up. And then before we knew it, the son came, before we had that opportunity, I think the son came to pitch something to Shell. And then Shell said, hey, we know these young guys. We are managing the scholarship for Shell. Then these guys, they have a solution like this. I think you can partner with them because they wanted to do that education services. So, content on TV and all of that. And then they joined us. And then we groomed that relationship until we were able to meet the father All right? And then the father said, okay, you guys go ahead, and they gave the approval. 6 months. We didn't even sell much. But that relationship has come to stay. It has come to stay. If today I want to do anything with AIT across the country, wherever, the current chairman now, I can walk up to him. When we did the last launch of our product, he came. AIT covered our program free because their chairman was what? Was with us. Attended the program. So collaboration, I can go on and on and on and on and on, you know, how collaboration works. So even in the innovation space, you know, it works. I'll just quickly go. There are 3 major areas, collaborative innovation. You know, you have the one that I call configuration innovation. That means, you know, you've got a product and then you're just changing the specification of the, you know, the product so that it can suit, you know, a need. All right, so we've got many of that. So you find out that the fast consumer goods people are using that. Have you noticed that there is sachet of everything? When we were growing up, we didn't have sachet of everything. Now they are bringing sachet, you know, milk, sachet, everything. What they've done is that they've just changed the configuration so that it can suit people. So they have the one for every level, if you are the one that is going to do this. So you need to, okay, your innovation needs to be able to adapt. So the economy is large, the economy is still, they do high-level things. Nobody, they buy your product. What do? You need to, you know. And so sometimes when things like that are coming, you need people as well that you'll be able to speak with. Some people are brand experts. Some people are marketing experts. Some people are this. And you see, none of us have all of it. None. You need somebody. Okay, you need somebody. In my team, I've got people that are so bright, you know, if they design stuff here, all right? Some of us, we just know how to think, we can think solutions out, but the others can sell the solution. The others can, you know, do this. The others can do that. The others, so that's the way it works. So you've got that bit that has to do with configuration. Then offering. Offering has to do with, you know, product differentiation. So what actually makes your product to be different from others? So sometimes you have to collaborate with somebody else to create something that, you know, is not existing in the market, okay? And then it gives you an edge. You may not get all the profit, but it gives you the edge that you require, okay? So some of our solutions, we've also seen that, you know, happen. And then experience innovation as well, you know. Experience, that one has to do with the customers. That's why you need to treat your customers as king, because the feedback they give to you is what you use to do what to change the experience. So some people will be wondering, wow, man, the user experience of this solution is so great. How? It's because of the experiences you've gathered over the years, you have enhanced, and then you keep on what? Enhancing. So even your customers can help you in the collaboration what? Process. And that's why you must listen to them. Sometimes, you know, developers or service providers, we think we know it all, okay? No. Allow them tell you certain things, you know. For those of us that do education, we even get the little children that are going to consume our product and then hear from them what they think about the product, okay? And then they tell you things, they give you feedback, and then you are able to change the experience. So technology also has helped, you know, in this. So we now have all the media, all the things that you can use for collaboration. Now you can have virtual collaboration. You know, it's not just physical anymore. You can do all of that. So these things are there that you can use, okay? And in River State, technology has been adopted to manage various sectors: health, education, courtroom activities, tax payments, among others, okay? How did we accomplish this? So if I stand and sit with accountants now, I will be able to speak. If I talk about tax solution now, you think that, you know, I'm a chartered accountant. No, nothing. I've taken time to listen to people, accountants. I've taken time to listen to tax professionals. And then I've known, you know, their terminologies. I've learned certain things, you know, and all that. And as I leave them and I see a doctor, I can tell you all the things that happen in the hospital, everything that happens in the hospital, because I've taken time to learn from my friends as well. That's why I can develop what, you know, health solution. And I can tell you end to end, okay? If I meet educationists now, okay, I'll be able to sit with them and tell them, I've been doing education for 15 years, all right? The first 15 years of our existence, all we're doing was education. From scholarship, we came up with the first online scholarship in this country, which we ran, for Total, and the rest of them. We went to Shell, we did for NDDC, we did the biggest scholarship in this country, up till now is the PTDF scholarship. We ran that scholarship for 5 years, okay, running that. We did for NIDA, we did scholarship, online scholarships for all of these guys. And so we've gotten depth, experience, exposure. And so we can talk. So we're not talking from, we've done e-learning solutions across board. We are the oldest amongst all the people talking about e-learning in this country. Most of the people that started with us, in fact, none of them is still existing, okay, doing it. We've gone deep. We've talked with teachers. We've dealt with these people. And we keep on retraining ourselves. So and how do you get all of this training? And it's part of the collaboration. So you meet these people. As you speak with them, you understand their pain points and so on. I've told you my story with my lawyer friend, how we came up with. And then as we came up with the solution, we sat under judges, we sat under lawyers, we sat under magistrates, we sat under registrars of court, and then they teach us. So if I speak now and do my presentation, you think I studied law. Sometimes I'll just tease them. I say, look, people need to give me, a law certificate, a ninth school law certificate because of what I'm doing. So, but that's the way it works. And without collaboration, you can't acquire this knowledge that you need to solve the problems. So, it's very, very important. So, we had sat with different specialists to come up with all of this. And what are the benefits? At the end of the day, collaboration will help you. Collaborative innovation will help in increased productivity. New ideas are born, okay? There's varied perspective in solving a problem, okay? Not just one way, okay? Because we think differently, okay? Okay, there's quality service delivery that is coming up because all of us, all the experts are coming together. I'm not just looking at it as, an innovation strategist, just from that point. No. But the doctors are coming and they are telling you real life situations. For those of us that are developers, we'll just be thinking ideal. And they tell you, say, bros, light no deal. This computer I want to bring, there is no light, so we need to get light always. So you factor that in your development. The lawyers will tell you there's no light. So when you're bringing your solution, you also factor it, inside of it. So that's the way it goes. It boosts information sharing. Okay? It boosts information sharing, and then the list is endless. Areas of collaborative innovation in product development, in marketing and sales, in research and development, supply chain management, in education, customer service, in healthcare, the list is endless. Anything you're doing, you need. So I wanted to develop an app for tailors. So very soon you guys will see the app, right? And then I said, okay, where am I going to start from? Okay, let me start from the tailors I know. So I've got an in-law. My sister-in-law is a tailor. So I went to her. I said, okay, let me start with you. So I said, typically, what do you do in your shop? She gave me all the things, and all that. I went to a sister in my church, that also runs a tailoring firm. What do you do? She gave me all the details, and then I started putting things together. Now, I didn't just stop there. The last vacation, my three sons, in fact, I sent them to a tailoring shop to go and learn tailoring. Now typically, they'll say, yeah, he runs an IT firm. Why, are they not doing IT stuff? So go to a tailoring shop, and then, so they went to that, my sister's shop, okay, my church sister, and then they began to learn tailoring stuff and all of that. And why am I doing that? Because there's an app in the offing, right, that is coming, and I want them to also have an idea about what it's actually all about. Because I want to test, and I know that my generation will not care so much about that app, but their generation will definitely use that app. They don't have the time. They don't have what it takes to go and say they are waiting for. There are some things we are developing now. We know that it's not for us. It's for the future, all right? And you are actually doing that. So it's something that you need to, sit down and understand how these dynamics work. And now all of these pilot and phase free things, they were all done free. What did I do? I leverage what? My social capital to what? To get the things done. So there are so many things we pay for that if we are actually collaborating or we leverage our social network, then, it's just going to be free for us. And you've got so many people all around you that you're not, tapping into. Collaborative innovation in Nigeria, government agencies, organizations, individuals with varying perspectives can connect to brainstorm methods to enhance Nigeria's economy through diverse sectors. In agriculture, now we see the IT guys, agro-tech, and agro-allied tech companies are emerging. Many people are coming, farm.ng, farm.this, all manner of things. And people are meeting the farmers, they are collaborating, we are bringing technology, and we are making your product that, is in the rural area that people will not even know about, come into the city, and so on. So people are doing that. Some people are running, platforms for artisans, So you're a plumber, who know a plumber, and then they just have created a portal, and then of course plumbers are known, carpenters are known, and all these guys, artisans are all known. Collaboration. And then what you see in Amazon is all about collaboration. So you've got millions of stores, on Amazon, right? That's collaboration. The same thing that you see, you got it on Konga, all of this e-commerce like Gigi and the rest, is all about collaboration. Somebody is saying, hey, the person doesn't even have one product. Say, well, I have technology that can expose what? All the products that you have. And then people will just come, people will come, and then they begin to do that. In tourism, information technology, among other industries, with inclusivity, new ideas will emerge to not only produce locally, but also to market Nigerians' rich resources to the rest of the world. It's all about collaboration, the right collaboration. And Pastor Uche just told us people that I collaborated with at a point. People have asked me, how have you survived partnership for over 20 years? And then people like, so what? How? Yes, we've always had our rough times, We've always not agreed on certain things. But we've also, because we have a common foundation, all right? A common foundation. I'm going to buttress it, as I conclude. A common foundation, which is our Christian foundation. What it has done is it's made every one of us to be what? To be tolerant. And I know that I need to forbear. I know that, I need to forbear. I need to forgive. I need to ignore certain things, And because money is not the ultimate thing, is not the ultimate thing. For most of us, money is, you die for money. I will do this for money. No, it's not the ultimate thing. So maybe when greed has, risen in me, for example, my brothers will just look at him and say, oh, this is greed. Let's ignore him. After now, his greed will come down. Maybe my greed will now come down tomorrow. Next tomorrow, the other person's greed is up. So, when my greed came up, they also ignored me. So it's that bit of tolerance, it's that bit of what, understanding ourselves. And then, like I said, we've got a common foundation. And we have Christ as a common foundation. And whether you like it or not, it's what has helped us. So beyond all of this, I tell people, you see, your collaboration with your maker is also very, very important. I know some people, you don't believe, but, I've seen it happen over and over. Some of the places I've been to in this country, there's nothing that would have made a town boy, I mean town. The people that live in Old Port Harcourt Township, most of you stay in GRA here. Your own life is different from our own, right? Close to Creek Road, that's where I stayed. IB Johnson, Club Road area. So there is nothing. I wouldn't have had any chance, if not for God, right? Taking me and then making me meet all of these people that I've met on the way. If not for God, I tell you guys. So the collaboration with God, and I tell people, the way it works, the way he leads, the way he guides, you cannot understand. The way he makes you take decisions. I was sharing some testimonies with, Pastor Uche before we came down. I was telling him some decisions when, I was given responsibility in the state and all that. Some decisions that I took, it looked foolish, but come on, it was the right decision. So many years after, and then I could see how God led me to make those decisions. The same thing. When I was developing, now I no longer write codes. Then when I was writing codes, there will be bugs. I'll go and sleep. And in my sleep, I would dream. I lived in Old Port Harcourt Township. My mother's sitting room used to be the headquarters of our business then. I would just sleep. I'll wake up, and then there will be NEPA lights. Because no NEPA lights, my computer no go come up. I had a desktop then. And I'll run to the sitting room, switch on the system, and then what I saw in the dream, I will just apply it, and then the bugs will be fixed. These are bugs that maybe 2 days, 3 days, you're trying to fix the bugs, and then, nothing. But something just happens. And then, so I've come to realize that there is a God factor in this, for the places that I've been to. Come on, to go and see a president, even the way I just shared this testimony, it just looked very simple. Because of us, after Mobala made that thing, they created, the first project they gave us was 218 schools out of the 1,000. Because of us, they created that project. That project still exists till today. That project still exists from 2015 when we had that, that project still exists till what? Till today. And bulk of the times they will tell the people, even when they don't want to give us politically, they will tell them, go to those guys and buy the product from them. So there are certain things that you just cannot understand. And so you need to allow God to lead you as you take this journey, as you take this journey for those of you that are doing business and all of that. So there are people, I tell people, I've seen so many people that are smarter, I've seen so many people that are smarter. Come on, I don't reach them now. People that are schooled in MIT, in Harvard, in this, in that. US now go. Everything. After that first degree, I no agree go school again. No. That's all. Every other thing that I've done is just personal development. As I get the leading, go here. I go do that one course, go here. It was till 2019 that I officially went into another campus again. 2019. From when I left school, 2002. I don't enter any campus again until 2019. And I was like, okay, let me go to, the biggest innovation center in the world. I went to MIT and then ran a 2-week course, on strategy and innovation. And it changed the way I looked at things. Okay? It changed the way. And so, ever since we came back from that journey, we've come to understand what innovation is. We've come to understand what strategy is. It's just like your eyes are just what? Opened, And so it's important that we understand how these things work. Try as much as you can not to look down on the person that is next to you. When we went on that course, we were 4 Nigerians. We had about 40-something countries represented in that course, right? And we're just 4 Nigerians. One is the director in Zenith Bank, director. One is the chief, HR officer of Sterling Bank, right? The other one, is in Paris. He works for the Red Cross. And then myself. Okay? The 4 of us. Guess what? In that place, anybody who wants to see for Zenith Bank now, it was just very, very easy. All the propositions that we've been writing to banks, I've been working with Sterling, it was because of the hierarchy of people you've gone to meet. So collaboration, I can't just emphasize, I don't know how else again, but I just want to believe that everybody here, you've seen the importance of you going out. As you leave this place, for those of us that are watching online, learn how to collaborate, learn how to meet people, and ultimately ensure that your collaboration with your maker is intact. So thank you, everyone, and God bless us. If there are questions, I'll take them briefly before I leave. Yes, questions?
All right. Thank you very much. I think you just opened another aspect of my knowledge. I really appreciate. I'm somebody who is big on collaboration, and I believe in the process. But we are in a generation whereby people, should I say, we young people don't believe in the process anymore. Let me put it that way. But I do believe in the process, because when I was starting, it was very difficult, but I believed I was going to get there. I'm not there yet, but the vision is way more clearer now. When I was starting, because I didn't have funds to feed my own vision, I had to do other businesses to feed my vision till I was able to run with it. So I noticed yours was way longer. It seems like you suffered a lot.
Suffered.
Because
long suffering
yes.
is one of the things.
So now, please, this is for me. I want to know how, because during the time you started your vision and your breakthrough, it was very wide. So how did you survive? Because if it was me, I would have given up. I know. I would have just faced somewhere else and go and also and make money. So how did you survive yours, please?
All right, and I think it's a very good question. When I teach, there's a course I normally take. It's called Entrepreneurship 101. And what I teach in that course, I just teach basically some core values of the entrepreneurial journey, in the journey. And one of them is perseverance. In fact, Steve Jobs said the difference between, a successful business or an entrepreneur and the one that failed is just one thing, and that's perseverance. Okay, so it's a key thing that in our generation, Gen Z, it's no longer there. And that's why I said a bit, my Christian background has helped a great deal, because these are Christian values that ordinarily if you don't know the Bible, it will be very difficult for you to suffer long like that, because it's something that, we've learned, that will suffer long. I'd trekked in this town from Arts and Science, that Captain Eleshi, with my friend, that my youth corps friend. When we came back, I trekked from there to WAEC office. You know where WAEC office used to be, opposite NDDC, right? Former NDDC. We trekked there. And while we were trekking, we now stopped at Romola Junction, right? There was a friend of his that bakes, And then that one gave us cake and coke. I'll never forget that day. And then we ate that cake and coke, and in the strength of that cake and coke, we got down to WAEC office. In the strength of that cake and coke, we trekked to Garrison, right? We trekked to Garrison because we're just also looking at the money that we had, and that's it. I pushed cars, in Port Harcourt, friends, people barely on Aba Road. I was pushing car. We had one car. That our car is like a flying boat. When we go to Aba, we will swim with it, a Carina E, a red Carina E. That was the first car we bought, And then we'll swim with it, and then it got to a point, after every 100 meters, it's either you put water or you put oil. You must put one, So we went through all of that. And, it wasn't stressful. Why wasn't it stressful? Because we just felt and we understood it was just a phase of our life. Come on. It was just a phase. And you see, the Bible teaches us that we should bear our yoke in the days of our youth. I started when I was 22. All right? So it was just a phase. And then I had friends, and even some of my partners also even got job in Total, in Shell. They lived. When my partner bought his bullets, we are still trekking. So, but 20 years down the road, the story is completely different. All the people, our classmates that got job with NNPC, where we don't go, where we don't enter, they will never, ever in their lives. In fact, some of the places, when I go, I see my classmates there. When I go to see their garden, right? It's not even at their level anymore. But that period of suffering, they always will look better than you, Some of them got married earlier than us. They had their houses, earlier than us. They went on vacation abroad, earlier than us. But it didn't change anything. Down the road now, there is no room for even comparison. The kind of value we've created, and then you look at the value they've created. They've worked all their lives, and maybe most value is promotion that they would have gotten. The number of lives we've touched, they are innumerable now in different sectors. So, that space is going to be there, but you just need to know what you've been called to do, okay? And then you just stick in there. If you're consistent, have you watched National Geographic before? Have you seen those people, the Igbo people? You see what they follow? Somebody will just be following ants. Have you seen those guys? Ant, he will be telling you this red ant, he does like this, red ant, only ant, oh. And then that ant has become a content. And all of us all over the world, we are watching that ant. It's cockroach. This is the way cockroach will tell you. They born like this. What thing concern you? What thing concern us? But somebody consistently did that thing that looks like nonsense, but because the person was consistent, it's become what a great content. And so we need to learn that patience, okay, to stay where you know that you've been called, okay. And sometimes it could be wide. Sometimes it may not be as, wide. JAMB, before we did JAMB, this JAMB that we are talking about, finally, even when he made that pronouncement, we didn't do JAMB project. We didn't do JAMB project until the current JAMB registrar became registrar. That was in 2000. He just served the tenure and then 2 years now, maybe like 6-7 years ago. That was when they called us. And how did it happen? You see, collaboration is massive. We've been doing JAMB for 14 years, knocking that door, even after the pronouncement of the man. And then during the day, them started the electronic exams and everything. We've been knocking 14 years, nothing happened. And then we met someone who was another reseller who met us in Dubai. Went for Jitex and then met us there. And then, said he will resell. He wasn't even reselling our product properly in Lagos. And just said, hey, as this new man was appointed, he said, there's somebody I will introduce you to. And then he just took us to his friend. And then his friend just took us to his father. And then the father just gave a complimentary card. Say, take to him. And then we got down there. And then he didn't want to even listen to us. And then finally he just said, hey, 1 minute. Tell me, what is it that you want to say? And I didn't know what I said. But the man just shouted. Say, come on, yeah, this is the idea we've been looking for. Come on, yeah, what this young man has said. So you guys give him this thing. That's how we started doing JAMB brochure. We did 2 million brochures for JAMB for 3 consecutive years. Now, it wasn't easy. The first year, we didn't have, do you know what it takes to get 2 million CDs out for candidates? Until they started the sales of this thing, we were able to do just 100,000. In Lagos, we are like madmen. But we stuck to our guns. The man said, they will bring new people to change and, do the old this thing. And we said, okay, no problem. And we were willing because we felt, we weren't competent enough. We've done the software part. Everything was okay, but reproducing it in scale, we didn't have the capacity. And then the man was just looking at us. That night, I remember in Unilag, and then he just said, somebody else. They brought somebody else because most of the big guys there felt bad that they just gave us the job like that. And so they brought the guy, and then the guy came, and then, and then we cooperated and gave him all the software that we developed for him to go to Alaba to get all those duplicators to get it done, So the man was just looking at us. So when the man left, he called me. He calls me in a funny way. Ibufuro, before his directors. He said, I've never seen a businessman like you. You have a contract with us, and I'm bringing somebody else now to do that work. You said because you could not deliver, you gave everything that you have even done so that the work can still go through. I was just laughing. I said, why not? We are all here serving you so that you have a good image, and all that. And then the man just said, you see, this thing that you have done, I'll give you 2 more days. 2 more days, he gave us that we should try to do 200,000. We did 600,000 within 2 days. And then that was history. And then our fame went abroad. Nobody could do anything again. So, there are some things that, 14 years, but we kept on knocking. And then I didn't know what I said that morning, that, it just happened. So God has a way of putting things together, and then setting things up when we don't give up. Okay? When this Omobola's job, when they gave us that job, we were begging the people that we are doing the job, $1. Just put our software, $1, please. We are begging the people. When they gave us that job, it wasn't $1 anymore now. It was more than $10 that, we earned. So, that's the way God works. That's the way God works. So let's be patient. Gen Z or whatever generation you belong to, just be patient. Your time is coming, and when it comes, nobody can stop it. Nobody, no force can stop it. All right. Any other person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. This interaction has really helped me, because I and some of my friends are actually trying to build something, and I'm a very impatient somebody. Yeah, they really get on my nerves because I'm the developer, and somebody might just be saying something I don't like, and I feel like I want to leave this group. So I'm really learning patience and seeing that one thing is to read things online, and one is actually meeting somebody that has actually walked the walk, and seeing you it's a humble feeling. I feel like I should really be humble with the way I do things. But another thing is, I don't know if when you talk about collaboration, I've seen how far you've made collaboration look. Even when you're building products, it's as if you're collaborating with the people you're actually building the product for. Because if you don't bring in that collaboration with them, I don't think it will even work. So, and you say when you're bringing in people around you, do you focus on the level of skill they have, or are there places where you have to teach them certain things? Because it takes patience. Me, I cannot do it. If you're not ready, if you don't have it, I feel like you don't have it. Don't come close. But are there places where you can really have the patience to put people through, you don't know this thing, let me show you how to do it? Because I see that, for the purpose of the product to succeed. And also, one thing about startups is we're always happy. We're always looking at the good side. Oh, money is going to give us this. It's going to give us that. But when you start seeing very huge load of datas and sign-ups, you start seeing that you don't even know what you want to do with datas. You see like 200,000 sign-ups. Okay, which one I want to do? Who I want to send email? How do you manage these aspects of business that, because we don't know it, we just sit down, we write code, and sometimes you want to do these things yourself because you feel like people that want to do it with you is either they laugh in a way that you don't like. I mean, people just, small things get on me. And you just feel like it's a huge problem. So how do you really take care of these things? You've come a long way. Just chip in. How do you do it? And in a place, in an industry, you played in an industry where it's highly corrupt. I'll use the word corrupt. You succeeded in a place where it takes a whole lot of politics. It takes a whole lot of politics. Many of us cannot do it, So I really want to understand how you could work out with those people and be able to get things done and achieve what you want to achieve for yourself. Thank you.
Okay. All right. One of the things I learned, lately is that you must be loyal to the problem. You must be what? Be loyal to the problem. Do you know what it means? Not the kind of political loyalty, loyal. So when you're loyal to the problem, is that you can do anything to ensure that you get that problem solved. Right? So you must be loyal to the problem. When you are loyal to the problem, okay, or you're loyal to your goal, let me just put it that way, you will take nonsense. You will take rubbish. I'd been in the office, and then my staff had banged, table, hand on me. I mean, a staff that I could just fire. But it wasn't the time to fire anybody. So I just will have to take the nonsense and then move on, okay? Because there is more to that staff. One of my staff that did that was the same person that went to Obi in Anambra, we gave Anambra all of those e-learning softwares they use in their school. BrainFriend was what they used that made them to be tops, in WAEC and the rest of them. We gave them. That was the same person that went to Anambra to close that deal. It was our biggest deal until then. So if I had fired now, are you seeing? So there are certain things that, you must have self-control. And we're all humans. We all have our issues. I have my own issues. I have, so people will have to soak in my own excesses as well. Okay? That's the way I need to be tolerant with people as well. So if you want to succeed in life, tolerance is a key thing. You must be tolerant. Okay? People will not always do what you want them to do. But learn to be tolerant. Be loyal to your goal. Know what you want to achieve. So for every staff that I have, I know your strengths. And it is your strength that I'm concerned about. I'm not concerned about your weakness. I'm concerned about your strength. And I want that strength because I know it will give me the result that I want. Okay? And then the other ones, I will need to know how to deal with it. Okay? Gradually. But the strength, once I see that strength, I want to tap. It overshadows me. So I don't think so much about the weakness. So it's very, very important that, you understand that. And as you are growing in the industry, it's network. There's hardly anybody in the IT industry. For 20 years, I've played in it. When we went to China, okay, most of the guys, all these names you guys know, Traction, they were there. All these people now, young people now, Traction, Piggy Vest, Lenko, all the guys that got, VC money, and all of that, they all came in that trip. The oldest guys there were the e-transacts, okay, that I could say, okay, contemporaries in the listing, and some of the guys that came from Microsoft, some people that came there, we are in Microsoft now, they are, in Huawei and all that. So you see your contemporaries, people that you've grown with, and that network, that link, is still there. As you're growing, as we're all growing, it's still there. So it's very, very important. The current Minister for Communication Technology, Bosudem, they were the people that were with us, okay, young people like us during the last time that we all went to Dubai, all right, together, all right. So you can see now, it's like my generation now that are in the Hems of Affair. So that's the way it goes. So if I need anything now, it's not going to be difficult, okay, for me to say, okay, I want to get that. That's why I said, you see, social capital is very, very important. If you spoil it, the way you're small thing, they pain you. One person that, you're upset about, tomorrow now could be the person that you need for what? For the next big thing that you require. So even when staff they are leaving my organization, I always want to make sure that they leave what? On a good slate, because we'll always meet again. Always we'll meet again. Always. That's the way the world is. So you must take it easy with people because tomorrow you may need them somewhere. So it's very, very important. And then in terms of data, you've got data, you need to think. You need to be strategic. You need to be very, very strategic. And data is key, So maybe after now we could discuss more, in such areas. You've got data, you don't know what to do with data. There's 1,001 things to do with data. Okay? They get 10 kobo. If you have 250,000 people, they get 10 kobo from them every day or every week. Do you know what that will make you to? So those are the kind of things you begin to think about. Okay? So don't just, if you have so many people there, think of something. It could be that there's a blog that you've come up with that all these guys, you want them. And once you start your blog, before you know it, you begin to do adverts on that platform. What will happen next? Things will begin to happen. You begin to make revenue out of it. So, patience, understanding, can help us to ensure that we get to the goal that we have set for ourselves. Okay.
Okay. Good evening, sir. I want to start by saying, I think you're my brother. And in fact, I did my youth service in Gombe State as well.
Really?
Yeah, in Kwame local government.
Okay.
So my question is selection of collaborators, if it's kind of wrong, because the God factor is helping me, and I have a huge disadvantage, but I don't settle for anything disadvantage. So I just got a phone, a smartphone, managed to get a smartphone. And I started, some of you on YouTube, you might know me, I'm a mama on YouTube. I started making common sense on YouTube, right? So now, some persons now gave me, started telling me to like and share their songs. So I was like, it depends on the kind of video you're doing, the kind of songs or the kind of video. So is that like wrong? Because I think it's a collaboration, I will call it.
Yeah.
I'm even learning the phone, so I don't know how to do a whole lot of things. So I'm being selective. Is the kind of, videos you want me to, share or like. It depends. So am I doing something wrong? Please, thank you.
All right, so I think our convictions are very, very important. I know that this other guy was asking how we've been able to go through the murky waters in this country, where you have corruption, this, happening and all of that. And it's the same thing, your conviction. One of the core things that we have in my organization, we have our core values. It's called I FIT. Okay, I FIT. I-F-E-A-T. I FIT. So sometimes, we make fun. I fit, fit. I fit, fit. But it's basically I fit. I is for integrity. Okay? And that's one thing, that has kept us. Okay? We always tell the truth, even when it hurts us. Okay? I remember we did a scholarship exam for PTDF, a national scholarship exam, and we didn't test our software before we went out. Okay? We were in a hurry, wanted to do a new software. We've been working with them for some years. And then we didn't test properly, and then we went out. It was a national disaster. National disaster. I was in Abuja then, went to the hotel room. I was crying, God, what led to this and what led to that? And I was to do my report. The next day I did report, and then in the report I owned up that, we messed up. These are senior officers that were posted all across the country. Because we do it in Owerri, you have it in Uyo, you have it in Maiduguri, Sokoto, Abuja, Lagos. And then it came, and then Port Harcourt. And then, it came out like that as a mess. And then I couldn't. But we owned up. Guess what? The people that we worked with there, 2 Muslims. Till today, our best of friends. They just said, no problem. Furo, they call me Furo. Say, Furo, no problem. We'll see what will happen. They rescheduled our exam 2 weeks after. They asked, and 2 weeks, we went, and we had the best exam ever. Okay? 2 months or 3 months after, we were in our office. I was having a management meeting again, and then I heard a voice I didn't know calling. So we want you to come and do the presidential scholarship for us, and I was wondering. And that was Julius Okoje. For those of you that know Professor Julius Okoje, used to be the ES of the NUC. Okay? That presidential scholarship they did for first class students, they had 2 years. We ran that scholarship. And who recommended? It was their partner. These guys in PTDF that we messed up their listing. We are the ones that recommended, say, if you want people that you can trust around this, that will not play wayo, they are these people. So integrity is a core value. We've seen it over and over. And each time I make mistake, I'm not bigger than mistake. It happens, I just go and then we just own up. Not the first time, not the second time, we just own up. The second thing is flexibility. We learn to be flexible, okay? The third is excellence. The fourth is accountability. We just need to be accountable at every point in time, okay? And so even as MD, I just don't go and sign money. So, boy, I don't get money. I don't spend all my money. So now, month never finish. Let me just sign some money for. No. I know young generation, once on I get on, I want blow, on I want to. No, you still live within your means. You need to know what you pay yourself. You need to know what you can afford. You need to. And then the third thing the last one, the fifth one has to do with trust. And our trust in God is absolute. I've gone somewhere in this state, Then arrest SDA wanted to do, they called me, before we give you this job, you must part away with this. And I'm like, come on, no, we won't do it. after the job, I can come with good mind to say thank you, but before the job, it won't happen. And then they went, arrogant people, arrogant, but it's just our conviction. And it has worked for us everywhere we went. So you need to know what your conviction is. If your conviction is that don't, like and post secular music, then stick to it, okay? It's not going to diminish what God wants to do with what he wants to do with you. God is not limited. So you need to look at that and then walk in that regard as well. For me, my conviction is what I stick to. Yes, it may be delayed, but all the delays I've seen that it's even good that it was delayed. Because sometimes if some of this money come earlier, would have made mistake. Thank God it didn't come. Okay? So that's the way it works for us. So you must know what your convictions are. What are your core values? You're starting a business now. No. And then that's your phone. Learn that phone very well because it's a good tool that you have. It's a tool as small as that phone is. That's what people use to make money, Millions every month. Nothing. They don't have any computer, just phone. So learn, use it properly so that you're proficient in it, and then you can do what, you've been called to do. Yes, sir.
The previous question was actually the last, but
oh, really?
Persistence. So please make it short.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Good evening, sir. Sorry, I had to write my question down.
Okay.
Some years ago, I just gained admission to University of Port Harcourt. I was very eager. And I remember I saw a TED Talk, and you were on that platform, and I attended. And that was very revolutionary, I must say. But then I have to ask you, sir, generally, sir, there's a bad news for African startups, especially tech startups, sir. And the problem is not that they are not marketing themselves well. In fact, they have marketed themselves to the extent where people research about them and know that they are not doing well. The likes of Abeg on Big Brother, everybody knew about Abeg. Where are they today? The likes of Patricia, I recently heard they are nosing down. Likes of Flutterwave, I recently heard they're even cutting down their staff size, And even Paystack, I believe that the reason why Paystack sold their company was because they were afraid of the unknown, and that's why they sold. So good for them. But Sin Forest, in some way, has managed to, not managed, forgive me, has been there over the years. And I want to ask, sir, what is the secret ingredient for an African startup, especially in tech, to keep on going? I said secret because I'm hoping you tell me something I don't know. Thank you.
All right. I think bulk of the things that you need to know, I've already said all of them, There is no extra secret ingredient, maybe apart from the God factor that everybody here knows as well. Now, but one thing I want to let you know is that there's this hype. So I was telling him, sometimes I sit down and I call it the Lagos lie, right? And then there's this hype that, you can easily get VCs come in, angel investors come in and all that. Of course, most of the angel investors and the venture capitalists have all burnt themselves, okay? Because they come, they feed the hype. And I know even when I traveled, I saw most of them, they just leave, it's hype. We have grown organically. All right? We've grown organically. And I think it's a blessing. Sometimes I'm like, come on, why can't we go and get money? And each time I want to get into that kind of round of things like that, God will just say, man, cool down. The hype, it's not that raising funds is wrong, but I know most of us, this generation of people, the goal is to raise funds, not to meet a need. For us, the goal is what? To solve problems, to meet a need. That's it. So the more needs you meet, the more money you make. It's just as simple as that. Okay? The more people you're solving problems for, the more money you will make. Okay, so when money comes, it helps you to do what? To expand. It helps you. So, but many people, they've not even understood the need that they are meeting, and then they have so much money in their hands. And then you see them they are flying business class, they are living a lavish life, they are living in a 3-bedroom flat. When I went, one guy was telling me that his domestic power bill is about 500,000 naira a month. So when he said it, I turned, we're on a tour in China. I looked at him. After then, we started calling, we got somewhere, and then somebody was to buy something, and then we said, this is the big man amongst us. We all pointed, and we were laughing. Now, these are young guys just starting. Come on, why would you want to live a life like that? So when the VC money comes, that's what they do. So they fly. One was upset in that trip that, why did Huawei gave us over 200 of us from Nigeria? All expense paid trip. So why, if he had known that it is economy that, you would have stayed, he wouldn't have flown, he wouldn't have come for the trip. And I was just like, I just kept quiet. My partner was with me, we just looked at ourselves. They never even cut their teeth. These are people that maybe they never even do business, reach 3 months, or 3 years or 5 years. But because they were able to put a proposal together, these VCs, it's just proposal. So they go and tell them, and then they cook their books, and then they begin to say they can do this, and then, Series A, Series B, and then they're able to get $2 million, $3 million. They don't know what to do with the money. So they blow it. They blow it. So that's what has happened to most of these guys. Money misroad. And when money misroad, in fact, when we were there, one of the big names, that is under distress now, the guy wants to sell his this thing, and then some of those his friends, one was saying, look, if he wants to sell it, if I will buy it at 50% of what he's calling. The other one said, I will not even buy it. He has to pay me he has to pay me to take over the company. That's what another one even said, in that place. Now these are all young guys, and so we need to be careful. If you don't have what organic growth does is that it gives you the common sense you need. Okay? How did I cope? In COVID, my organization, we're almost 200 now. In COVID, as at 2020, we were about 130. We didn't sack one person. During COVID, we didn't sack one person. All rational, these are all the big names. And we wanted to, we came, we had a meeting, and then said, look, we need to cut down, we need to do this, we need to do that. By the time we finished, and then we went into prayers, and then God said, no, don't do it. And then it was so foolish, so foolish. How could you have kept all these people when there was actually, and then our major business was education. And all schools closed. No revenue. But thank God, we were saving. We were saving. So then we began to use all the savings, we had then, and then we didn't sack anybody. We didn't reduce pay. It was normal all through the COVID period for 100 and something people. And then while we were doing that, all of a sudden, a brook just opened. You know what a brook is? Where God kept Elijah. Just opened up. And then we were there. And then things began to open. Money began to come like that from that place until the COVID effect went out. And then, it was like that thing also just closed as COVID finished. Like that. So, if there is anything I want to tell you, I will just tell you the God factor. I know it works. I know it really works. Okay, when you listen to Him, He directs you. It works. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. Wait, I can't believe that's how much you can clap for him. No, please, no. So guys, sir, you can sit down. You would help me clap for him one more time, and then I'll tell you why right after. So please help me clap for him again. Thank you very much. Sir, so the second clap, are you there, sir? The second clap is, I've been a beneficiary of your platform without even realizing. I got the PTDF scholarship. And look at now. Whether it's collaboration, whether it's divine insights, but thank you so much for even bringing that platform for people like me and every other person. I remember getting a free laptop, getting fees from 200 level up to my 5th year, and several other benefits, just because someone like decided to take a bold step and eventually made things easier. Thank you so much, sir. So we'll be taking a few announcements. First, we would like to remind you, I know it didn't come up when K.O. Baba mentioned, but this is the bank detail for anybody. There's no pressure on you, but I believe when we pay for value, we tend to appreciate it more. So this is, keeping it open, our online audience, our people right here in the auditorium, you can support. Nobody's telling you it must be this, it must be that, but I'm sure from the abundance of your heart and financial state, you can pull something through. Do I have people who are in line? Pastor Tevi, good to see you, sir. All right, so tomorrow the conference continues. We have 2 sections, just like today, morning section and evening section. The morning section kicks off at 9 a.m., and similar to today, we'll be having a panel section, and we also have a keynote speaker. So I hope I'm correct with 9 a.m. Okay. We have a keynote speaker for tomorrow, which is Sir Nkechi Nwogu. Nkechi. Oh, okay. Nkechi. I'm seeing here co-founder and director of admin and People's Operation Sin Forest Limited. So we'll have him tomorrow. So maybe there are questions you needed to ask today. They will be speaking on a different topic, but I'm sure there could still be a place of balance. We'll have our panelists, and they'll be speaking on how to think, make, and grow ideas. So, during the introductory section, some of you, I had to quiz you a bit. That, okay, this is what you do, but really, is it what you do? Or this is how it's convenient for you to say. So tomorrow we'll be having a panel section that will talk about how to think, make, and grow ideas. And in the evening, we'll have Nnamdi Ibe in the house, who will speak on what's new in business. Of course, there's a place of evolution, so come around, catch up with that. Panel section for the evening is surviving the African terrain. It's important. How many of us have been downstairs to the exhibition, in the exhibition hall? How many of us? Today, of course, the conference started today. You've been downstairs. How does it feel? How does it feel? Huh? Don't you see value there? So it doesn't end here. We encourage every one of us, even right after this section, after we close today, still, if they are still around, if not, we'll continue tomorrow. But ensure to get there. I got there, I saw skill acquisition section, I saw fashion, I saw all of those things. Please don't shoot yourself in the foot. Just make sure you make out time to be there. It's also important for us to know, just like some persons mentioned, that the conference holds online and offline. So whatever ideas you are putting out, whatever things you are saying, just understand that it's beyond this room. There are so many persons that you may meet, you may never also meet, who are watching you and who are listening to you. Yes, finally, Bamboo Real Estate. I think we should clap for them too. You know, if you were here last year, I saw the excitement on the winner's face. In fact, he became a celebrity under the all of a sudden. How he used 1,000 to buy a raffle draw ticket and got a piece of land. It could be you this year. It could be any one of us here. So please take advantage of that. 1,000 naira for the raffle draw ticket, and you stand a chance to win a plot of land. For the final remarks, the closing remark, please let's welcome K.O. Baba.
Muyiwa, thank you so much. Please put your hands together for my brother Muyiwa for being a wonderful competition. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful evening. You didn't just teach us, you were there to share experience and provide that value. How many of you got value this evening? Yes. So this is just the first night. Pastor, God bless you. Please, let's welcome Pastor Tammy Lawrence. God bless you. I like to call him Pasi. Yeah. He likes prayer. He's in charge of spiritual warfare. Pastor, happy to see you. Thanks for always supporting Pastor Chi. This is just the first night, and in the next 5 days, you will have so much to learn. You have so much to learn. It's an institution on its own. The things you will pay a lot of money for, you're getting it for free, and I expect you to take advantage. Now, don't be selfish. Don't be self-centered. Somebody asked me one time, what's your turn off? I say selfishness. And I mean it when I say selfishness. If I just see people who don't know how to give, I just know that they don't know how to forgive too. I just know they will be very wicked. So give your friends the opportunity to be part of this process. I don't know if you are hearing me. So you do this for us and do this for your friends. Do this for yourself because God will bless you as well. Make sure you tell your friends there is something happening in Port Harcourt. For the next 5 days, it is 6 days, we'll finish the first day and you missed out. Tell them they will get so much value. Tell them the courses they will pay money for, they will learn it in 6 days. If you have a notepad, in 6 days revisit it, you understand that God will really bless Pastor Uche Anuche for this. And we also are trying to do a quick social media support group, and that's why we ask those of you who have to put your WhatsApp number together. By 9 p.m. latest, Chidima will just activate the group. Please, if you see yourself, we'll just drop the materials for tomorrow. For those of you who want to help us post about the speakers, the topic we're sharing tomorrow, we'll drop it. You can put it on your timeline, your WhatsApp status, your Facebook story, and just that, so that tomorrow in the morning we have a wonderful section. Afternoons are supposed to be for master class. We'll keep you posted. The day we'll have a master class proper. And then in the evening, another wonderful time. This evening was designed for people that are working, that say they can't come in the morning. For those of you who can make money and evening, that is the way to get the full package. So I want us to stand up while we close. And when we close, make sure you network. We just finished talking about collaborations. Take phone numbers of your friend. Ask them, what do you do? And this is what I do. Tell them, feel free. As long as you are not doing something illegal, you are not stealing, you are not killing anybody, you run a proper business, tell them. When I teach people in my class, I say, immediately you mention your name, mention what you do. Please, that's what we will do immediately we close. I'll call on Pastor Tammy to just help us close this, and then we'll move.
Amen. Shall we pray? Our Father, we thank you. Thank you for your presence that has been with us since in the morning up to this very moment. We ask that, Lord, even as we depart, Lord, go with us. Take us back to our different destinations. And Lord, we ask that you will gather us again tomorrow bright and early. Your name alone be glorified. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.